Welcome to another edition of Bearcats All Access. I'm your host, Marshall Kramsky. It was a beatdown last Saturday. Cincinnati taking care of business 34-0 against the Houston Cougars. Another tough test today, though. The Texas Tech Red Raiders in Lubbock. We break down the matchup with head coach Scott Satterfield, as well as captain safety Derek Canteen. All that, plus we hear from Hall of Famers from the Bearcats coming up. Bearcats All Access starts right now.
Bearcats All Access, sponsored by All Good Home Improvements.
So it's first Big 12 win, 34-0. We talked about it after the game. It's close to a perfect of a win as you guys could have. The celebration afterwards, just being with the guys, how satisfying was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think, anytime you put a lot of work into something and then you see the rewards for that, you're going to be happy, obviously. Yeah. Locker room was great, being able to see the guys and really celebrate with them, see the joy on their face. I mean, that's, one of the great things about coaching is when you put all the work in and you get to see it and benefit from those. And it was great to see. I mean, there's a lot of great things that happened when you think about, the shutout, which, hadn't happened here, I think, maybe 5-6 years. And that's hard to do in college football this day and age, especially how offenses are. So just a complete team win and, happy for our guys.
Donut on the scoreboard. Brennan Sorsby, I heard it brought over 200 donuts for the squad. Did you get in on it? Two, how important is that to have a quarterback who cares that much to do something like that for his teammates?
Yeah, it's very cool. Obviously, he came up with that on his own to say, hey, man, we got to shut out. Let's give them donuts for everybody. I mean, it's a great gesture. No, I did not partake in that. We were upstairs working, Texas Tech, getting, next game up. So, but that's awesome. I think it speaks to how connected our team is. I think that's huge when it comes to team sports, particularly a sport like football where you got 120 guys and we all got to play and pull for each other.
You brought it up a little bit in your post game, but the defense, they were getting some slander going into that game against Houston. Really, it seems like shut a lot of people up. What does that mean for your defense to be able to take it to that next level and show what they can do?
Yeah, it was a great, game for our defense. Like I mentioned, to hold anybody to 0 points. Our guys were resilient, created some turnovers. Hopefully, it gives them some more confidence that we had on. It's going to get tougher as we get into this league. We know that there's some great quarterbacks, great schemes, receivers, running backs. We're getting ready to face a great one this week. So, it's only going to get tougher as we go. But it was great to see that, to see how the last couple of weeks they've really improved and they've done some really good things.
Texas Tech, it feels like no matter who the coach is, who the players are at Texas Tech, they find a way to put a lot of points up on the scoreboard. How do you combat that defensively?
Yeah, I mean, they do. They keep a lot of pressure on the defense. There's no question about it. They spread you out. Their tempo was extremely fast, probably a lot like Pitt, the way they went fast. This year, they put up a lot of numbers, one of the top offenses in the country. So we got to keep everything in front, try to limit the big plays. I feel like when you play teams like this, they're going to move the ball at times throughout the game. But how can you get off the field? Can you create some turnovers? Can you hold them to field goals once we get down to the red zone? To me, that's a win if we can do that. And that's going to be critical as we go face Texas Tech.
Lubbock at night, it's rowdy there. I've seen it firsthand. It gets loud. Going into an environment like that in a game that your team really needs to keep the momentum going, how do you prepare for the noise factor in a road environment like Texas Tech?
Yeah, I mean, we try to do things in practice. We're turning up the noise, the crowd noise. At practice, we're working our silent cadence. We know that in Lubbock at a night game, they're going to be out some blackout. It'll be a sellout, so 2 3-on-1 teams, great college atmosphere. It's what we all signed up for. We love this. So that's the kind of environment our guys like to play in. And so I think it's going to be fun. I think, we'll be prepared for it. It's just a matter of execution once you get in that environment.
Coach, you're on the flight home. You guys just had a win later today. What did you guys do in order to capture victory?
Yeah. I mean, I think the main thing for us, limit the big plays. I think that's going to be critical. Somehow get it down so we can play another down, keep them out of the end zone. And then I think offensively, just trying to control the clock, trying to keep the ball in our hands, and then ending drives with touchdowns. I think that'll be the difference in the game.
Coach, thanks so much. Best of luck this week.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Coming up on Bearcats All Access, some of the greatest UC athletes of all time back in the building for their Hall of Fame induction. We hear from one 2-time Olympic medalist. Last week, Cincinnati inducted 7 new members into the James P. Kelly Hall of Fame, including football stars Marty Gilliard and Mike Woods, as well as Olympians Jordan Thompson, Annette Echekinoke, and Vanessa Giles, plus men's soccer star Omar Cummings.
Yeah, guys, we are live at Fifth Third Arena, and I will say this has to be the most loaded Hall of Fame class in UC history. We're talking about professionals. We're talking about Olympians.
Cincinnati's literally home. I don't think there's nothing more else to really say about it. I mean, this city, they have my heart.
Bearcats are everywhere. And so to have them at the Olympics was not a surprise, but it was more just a delight to be able to know, we have our people here.
Definitely feel honored to be associated with the people that are going in today with me.
Being a Bearcat for me is everything. You have loyalty in that mix, you have honesty in that mix, you have accountability in that mix, man. All those things, I bled those things for the school. So for me, it's it's nothing better than being a Bearcat.
I think I get to go out into the world and do really cool things, and then I get to come home and celebrate that with the people who helped me get to that place.
This is probably one of the best moments ever.
Cincinnati volleyball legend Jordan Thompson was back on campus this past weekend for her Hall of Fame induction. The two-time Olympic medalist sat down with head coach Molly Alvey. They talk about her Olympic experience and what it is that makes Cincinnati just so special.
You had the skill set, right? You have the God-given talents that other people don't have. But what about this place kind of formed you?
My original thing that drew me in was the people. I remember coming here, and the season that I took my unofficial visit, the program had won 3 games.
It's pretty rough, yes.
And so, a lot of people would be like, why would you go there?
Yeah.
But I remember talking with you and Coach White, and you were sharing your vision for this program and where you wanted to take this program. And I was like, I want to be a part of that. That sounds amazing.
All these feelings of the team of how do you limit distractions, and parents are coming and they're excited, and you're going to a major volleyball program to kick off your first NCAA experience. Do you see the parallels in that to the Olympic Games?
Yeah. Even things as small as getting the little NCAA tournament patch on your jersey. You're oh my God, this is different. This is it's bigger, and you can feel it, and there's an energy. And I think that's a lot similar to the Olympics. You go to the gym, and now the Olympic rings are on the back of the court. Little stuff like that is a reminder of how this feels like it's a bigger moment. At the end of the day, it's the same game on the same court with the same ball. Managing those feelings and emotions and the expectations, I think, when you go into those scenarios is really important. That's where, as athletes, the mental work that you put into your game and honing in your skill is super important. On the national team, that's something we worked on, and I feel like when I was at Cincinnati, that's something we talked about too, was you don't want to let the moment get too big. Of course, celebrate it and really soak it all in, but at the same time, it's the same game that we've been playing all season long.
I'm thinking that you probably don't know this, but maybe you do. But do you know that you are the Bearcat with the most Olympic medals in the history of the entire athletic department?
I didn't know that until somebody tagged me in a post. That's actually insane. I don't know. It never, I guess, even occurred to me. And yeah, I was just really surprised when I saw that.
I figured you would be. For all that you've accomplished here at UC, and then to still be accomplishing things for us is pretty impressive. I didn't know that, of course, until it was said.
Yeah.
Because you think of all the tremendous athletes that have come through here, and what a high level that we compete in all different sports. But I think that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, I was shocked. I was like, that is unexpected, but very cool.
Right.
I'm like, am I cool now? No.
Yeah.
As a 27-year-old professional volleyball player, I still feel like I haven't hit my peak. I still feel like I have so much room to grow and to learn.
I think that's so great for our young players to hear, right? You've achieved at the highest level possible, and there's still work to your game. So you're going to be going into the Hall of Fame tomorrow evening. Do you understand the impact that you've had here, and do you understand that you are so deserving of this award and being the representative that you are for our entire institution?
I don't know if I do necessarily, but I think having the memories start to flood in again and realize where my journey has taken me since leaving Cincinnati and graduating. You get so caught up in the day-to-day life and it's so weird to say, but and now I have 2 medals, and now I'm gonna go do this and this and this and this. But coming back here, I think is a moment where I'm taking a pause, and it's a time to reflect and be like, whoa, like I've done all these things since I've left, but I'm coming back to the people who helped me achieve that.
We are so happy that you're back. The team is so excited, and we get to honor you on this court and really thank you for everything that you've done and continue to do. And you're just an incredible ambassador for our program and for this university. So
thank you. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Coming up on Bearcats All Access, I sit down one-on-one with Captain Derek Canteen, the #1 ranked safety in the entire Big 12, according to Pro Football Focus. He shares what it means to him to be a captain.
Bearcats All Access. Sponsored by All Good Home Improvements.
Coming off of a 34-0 whooping over Houston, you guys were able to put up a goose egg against another Power 4 team. It's the first time that's happened with any two Power 4 teams this entire season. What was it like in the locker room afterwards?
It was a lot of fun, a lot of energy. I think all together, all the guys we were brought in, we were just proud of each other, just taking in that moment. Coach Sat, I've never really seen him that excited. He was screaming goose egg, things like that. I think the best part was just, that it was the first Big 12 win of the season and also the first Big 12 win in Nippert Stadium.
After the game, Brendan Sorsby said, since y'all put a donut up on the board, he's getting the whole defense donuts. Did that happen?
That did happen.
Yeah?
That did happen.
How many donuts were consumed, do you think?
He got 200 plus donuts. I'm not exact. They go by the dozen. And it was actually enough for players, staff, sports staff, everyone actually got some. You
personally, transferring here, you have fit like a glove. Before you even play a single game, you're named a captain. Where does that leadership come from?
I would say how I was brought up. My dad having a military background, he served. My mom, installing things in me. Being in a military type of environment, I have plenty of neighbors and family members that's also military. It kind of taught me the discipline and the hard work. Getting back to my mom and seeing her and just her love for people and things like that, I carry that. I try to just be a positive influence, give out love.
Got the C, Paul, but also having a C. Being a captain of this team, just what does that mean to you?
It means the world. Honestly, my first time ever being a captain is something that I've always wanted. As a football fan, as a football player, it's just an honor. It adds pressure, which I look at as a privilege. It's something that I don't take lightly. I demand a lot from myself as far as leading. With football, there's a lot of ups and downs, so I have to make sure I'm good to make sure that I can lead the guys and do everything I can on and off the field.
You spoke about your parents, how your mom has a loving nature of people, your father being a military man, a leader. When you called them to let them know you were a captain of this team, what was that conversation like?
It was great. They were so proud. They understand football and they understand what goes into it and how that's not an easy thing and that's a great accomplishment. But also, my dad did a great job of installing in me and also communicating at that time that things are going to be amped up. With that is going to be pressure. With that is going to take more and things like that.
I don't know how much of a college football historian you are, but Texas Tech, doesn't matter, it seems like, who the coach is, who the players are. That team, one way or another, they find ways to put points up on the board. What do you guys need to do as a defense to stop that Texas Tech offense?
First off, just embrace the moment. It's going to be a huge test for us. Our first away game out the state, travel game. If you prepare the right way, if you go in with the right mindset, if you have the respect for them, nothing changes for us. I feel defensively is always about us. It's always about the 11 guys on the field playing the best way we can, playing together.
3-1. I've heard from a lot of your teammates. You guys feel like you're getting some really good momentum right now. If you go to Lubbock and win your first Big 12 road game this season, you're 4-1. Where do you think the momentum in this locker room would be like?
I think it would be unbelievable. I think that the sky's the limit, but again, the focus is this week going in there and handling business. But with that, I think the confidence just builds and the momentum just carries.
Great job, man. Thanks so much. I really appreciate the
Yes,
time.
sir.
Best of luck on Saturday, dude.
Thank you.
Thank you. On May 22nd, 2021, Cincinnati women's soccer player Allie Sidloski tragically died in a boating accident. She was only 21 years old. This past Saturday, Cincinnati Athletics, they honored Allie with the Play for 3 scholarship, giving it to women's soccer defender Maddie Swingle. In storybook fashion, Allie's younger sister, Coley Sidloski, she will go on to score the game-winning goal.
My sister Allie was one of the best people to ever come through Cincinnati women's soccer. Allie played at Cincinnati for 3 years, but only stepped on the field 3 times. She had 3 knee injuries and continued to embody these 3 pillars: strong in the body, strong in the mind, and strong in the character. My sister tragically passed away from carbon monoxide poisoning while boating in May of 2021, and my family has had their world flipped upside down ever since.
I'm extremely blessed. I've just been praying to God. I was like, I just need one today, God. I need one today for Allie, for my family, for my team, for this first Big 12 win. And, we got it. And just so blessed to be with this team and just a great first Big 12 win.
In 2011, the University of Cincinnati established a new award, the Bearcats Strong Award, to honor student athletes who are leaders that embody a strong body, a strong mind, and a strong character. It is the people who support us, such as the UC community and Carrie Thoman, for helping name this award after her, that has helped our family heal by keeping Allie's memory alive.
This university and this program meant so much to Allie and our family. We're so proud to be part of this Bearcats family. When we say we play for 3, it's a constant reminder of the love, strength, support, and kindness that allows us to always think and act in ways that are representative of Allie's love for her family and friends. She's always with us.
Keys to Success, sponsored by Columbia Hyundai and Genesis of Montgomery.
The Bearcats football team is riding high after opening up Big 12 play with a whooping 34-0 over the Houston Cougars. It's the first shutout of any Power 4 team over another Power 4 team this season. Quarterback Brendan Sorsby, he slung it all game long, especially in the first half, going 10 for 11 passing with 2 touchdowns. Let's relive it all right now with the Clifton Cut game recap.
It is a sweltering Saturday afternoon here in Cincinnati. The UC Bearcats look to improve to 3-1 as they open Big 12 conference play against the Houston Cougars.
Here we go, baby! We're focused, we're prepared, and we got something to prove. This game's been called a dogfight. All we gotta do is pull up our fists and be who the we are.
I remember how I felt to walk off this field versus pitch. So use that in mind, bro. Have that intention in mind, bro, and use that fuel. At the end of the day, it's always about us.
They ain't us. They ain't us. This right here is different than that down there. It ain't the same, man. Love this game. Love the crowd. Love giving your all for UC for 4 quarters.
Dogfight mentality, man, just like we talked about. You guys know what you got to do. Do your job to the best of your ability. Play for your brothers beside you, man.
It is time for the pigskin to fly here in Clifton.
Oh, your Cincinnati Bearcats.
Over the middle, and he's picked off. Donovan Smith picked off by Josh Meekins.
What I tell you? What I tell you?
2nd and 17 here. Sorsby to throw. Pressure coming off the right side. Goes up top, and he got him.
Touchdown, Bearcats. Yeah, boy, tell my mama I love him.
Smith pressured. A low throw to Jenkins, and he is met right away by Derek Canteen. The first-year transfer from Virginia Tech has been excellent this year. Houston's going to need one here to pick up the first. Smith loses his footing and the ball momentarily. Keeping it on the ground here. Plenty of room for Kiner. Corey Kiner breaking a tackle, and he's in. Looking to throw again, this time to the right side. Making the play right away was Jared Bartlett. Good defense. And still a 0 on the scoreboard for Houston.
I need y'all boys right here, red zone. Let's turn up, go red zone.
2nd and goal here. Now you're in a passing situation.
3 receivers spread out to the right, 1 out to the left.
Sorsby throwing again, left side of the field, up top. Got him again.
Xavier Henderson comes down with a football. Touchdown, Bearcats.
Cincinnati will go into the locker room up 24-0.
It's not changing. It's not changing at all. Hey, look, this always been about us, not them. This about us just having 0-0. We finna come out and keep beating that. You feel what I'm saying? We the dogs in this dog fight.
3rd and 6. Keeping it on the ground. There is some room. Ball's out. Ball's out. Cincinnati jumps on top of it.
Let's go, baby.
From the 45, Sorsby's going to air it out. Has a man downfield. And another big play for Sorsby. This one going to Sterling Burkhalter. For Sorsby, going to call his own number this time. He can run a little bit. Puts his shoulders down. And Sorsby in for another Bearcat touchdown.
First Big 12 dub in the middle. Got to build. Next week, on to the next week.
Like we talked about last night, we knew it was going to be a dogfight right from the start. A straight dogfight going to turn into what? Domination! Defense must live here, baby!
That's about all the time we have today on Bearcats All Access. The Cincinnati football team, they kick off tonight against the Texas Tech Red Raiders at 8 o'clock. I'm your host, Marshall Kramski. We'll see you next week and every week, 11:30 a.m. on WCPO 9 for Bearcats All Access.